This week's episode of Still Untitled is made possible by Netgear routers. When's the last time you upgraded your home's Wi-Fi? Turn your Wi-Fi up a notch with Netgear's new line of Nighthawk Wi-Fi 6 routers. Whether you're gaming online or watching Netflix in 4K, it's like giving your streaming the VIP treatment. You'll enjoy buffer-free streaming and zero lag no matter how many devices are connected to your network. Upgrade your router at netgear.com/Wi-Fi 6, the number 6. Again, that's netgear.com/Wi-Fi 6. Make your Wi-Fi feel young again.
Welcome to Still Untitled, the Adam Savage Project. I'm Will.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Norm.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
All your cues.
We're running at 0.25% speed this week, so people get through the podcast 25% faster.
Actually, one of the high compliments I got for the audiobook version of Every Tool's a Hammer is someone said, I liked it so much I went back down to one speed.
What? Wow.
I can't do that. You can do 0.5, like 2x speed or
no,
1.5?
Never. I hate it. It makes me crazy.
I used to.
Oh, you've slowed down, old man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like college lectures.
Right.
Because they're so slow.
Lectures are a different thing. I mean, I just didn't listen to the lectures. I just read the notes.
Yeah. But welcome back, Adam. I know we said that last week because you're also traveling.
I'm going every week.
But this, I know you'll be gone next week as well. But welcome back from the last stop of your book tour because you were in New York.
I was in New York.
Ooh.
I did Marvel's Mightiest podcast. At the Marvel Building. It's a podcast they have. It was really fun. We'll put a link under the comments
Did they
here.
kill somebody at the end of the show?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Sadly. It was really fun. It was a great group of people. They all love the Marvel Universe. We had lots of Marvel love. And then Saturday, I had off in New York, so I saw some great friends. I had a breakfast with Jonathan Colton and Jonathan Hodgman.
I saw a picture from that.
And then I had an afternoon lunch with my friend Philip Atiba Goff, who runs a wonderful organization that helps police stations better serve their communities. And then what did they do for dinner? I had late afternoon dinner with one of my oldest friends.
Cool. It's New York in the summer because we talked about
it's
New
hot.
York. Yeah,
it's not hot. It's 75 degrees, but with like 70% humidity.
Okay.
But in
so
New
it
York,
feels
that
a
feels
lot
hot. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that'll get you sweaty very quickly.
East Coast 80 will wreck you. Yeah.
Totally, with all that humidity.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you were there for BookCon. And the one thing I want to ask you about, because I saw this on Twitter, was that your mom was there.
My mom was
she
there.
signing?
Well, so first of all, get to Javits at BookCon, and the whole arrangement's being run by my friend Alicia, who is our wonderful contact at New York Comic Con. That incredible team that makes New York Comic Con run like a watch they also run BookCon. So that was great. In the lap of some good friends, and my mom spent the day with me that day, and yeah, she sat next to me while I was signing autographs, and several fans started asking her for an autograph in their book because I thought it'd be really great to get Adam's
mom. She's been on the
mom.
podcast. Yeah, she's been on the podcast. We did a talking room with her.
She was so delighted. She just had hearts coming out of her eyes, and so did the fans that were asking for the autographs. It was delightful.
That's rad.
And BookCon was really fun.
What is Book? I've never
annual convention about new published books. There were appearances. So I got to do a panel with Randall Munroe.
Oh,
being interviewed by Ira Flato, one of my heroes.
Wow.
Science Friday, Ira Flato.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. Super awesome.
Randall Munroe, I have a bunch of his books, but the one that I like the best is the Thing Explainer book. The 1,000 words. I think he uses the 1,000 most common words in the English language to explain incredibly complicated things like quantum mechanics in the space shuttle. It is awesome with your young child.
I love that guy. It's bizarre and fun being between two of my heroes.
Oh my God,
to
that's
talk
so rad.
about science and nerdy stuff.
ELI 5, but the book.
Yeah,
Explains like me like I'm 5.
Explain like I'm 5.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's got a new book coming out in a couple of months that is the most outlandish ways to do things. I wish I could remember the title. We will look it up and put it in the in the notes.
Yes.
And
cool.
BookCon was great. After BookCon, we repaired to a hotel bar in Midtown, where I met up with my friend Derek Del Gaudio, the magician who does In and of Itself, who did In and of Itself, and Molly Jong Fast. Actually, she's an internet friend. I hadn't met her in real life, but we've been rage tweeting alongside each other, and so we'll send each other things that we've written or talked about. And so she came out and had a lovely dinner with Derek and my mom. It was a fine and weird, delightful triumvirate.
Derek, you had Derek and your mom at dinner together?
Derek and my mom are like new best friends. They were like texting each other on the way home.
Okay.
Will's jelly.
I'm very
Envious.
My mom.
No. I like.
My mom
look,
my mom is throw her into the deep end of any social pool, and she will have everyone in the room's life story within 5 minutes.
I mean, that's it. Your mom is a wonderful conversationalist. Gina talked to her. My wife Gina talked to her at a party one time, and she's like, Adam's mom is awesome. I was like, oh, what did you guys talk about? She's like, I don't really remember, but it was kind of intense.
Yeah, because I've seen her do it to waitresses on their way past the table.
Yeah, so and Derek, I don't know Derek at all, but I assume he's a similar kind of force given
Derek is
in and of itself.
Well, within 5 minutes, she had him telling his childhood upbringing story, and that lasted about 45 minutes, and it's a riveting and amazing story.
That's awesome.
And then after that, I went back to my hotel room. I had about 45 minutes to rest and maybe play a little Beat Saber. And then I went back out to Upright Citizens Brigade, where I participated in an evening they have where they bring in monologists like me, people who can tell stories. And we tell a quick short story, and then they improv for 20 minutes based on that story.
Oh, that sounds great.
And then I tell another story, and they improv for 20 minutes based on that story. And super fun and hilarious.
What was the story?
So they take a suggestion from the audience, and the first suggestion was rodeo. And like, I have nothing.
You didn't do any rodeo myths over the years?
We never did. But then I told a story about Jamie Heineman rode horses as a kid and as a teenager because he would patrol the pick your own apple farm that his family owned and grew up on horseback.
Oh, yeah.
So he was the local, helping families pick which apple trees to get apples from, et cetera. And he did it on horseback. So he liked riding up to people at full clip and then pulling up and stopping, and they were all freaked out.
Yeah.
Classic Jamie.
Yeah, that's very, I can totally see that.
The funny story was I did tell one story about confiscating the kids' phones and how we confiscated them every night at 9:30 from the moment they had phones until they were like 16 and a half. And we were like the only parents in our peer group that were actually taking all electronics every night.
Yeah, no, it's a good move.
And because I said, no young boy should have that much access to porn.
Yeah.
Full stop. And then I told the story about how Thing 2 was caught giving me a dummy phone for 6 months.
Burner, yeah.
Wow.
I told you
Yeah,
this?
no,
I forgot that.
We didn't find out until Thing 1 was getting lectured one day. He was getting lectured about not being responsible, and we really, really, really worked hard to never compare them to each other. But in this case, he was being so recalcitrant about getting this thing that we were like, your brother can do it. What?
Shit.
I still regret saying this. I still regret it. But we said that, and he got super tense, and then he said, he's tricking you. He's giving you a dummy phone. And you could see what it was taking out of him to drop dime on his brother.
Oh, yeah.
But he could not abide being lectured about how responsible his brother was when he knew his brother was keeping his phone every night. He was handing me a phone from my drawer of old telephones. And confident was Thing 2 in his social manipulation of me that his phone had a shattered screen. He was handing me one with an unshattered screen, knowing that I would not check.
Oh.
So
Bold.
I made him use a flip phone for a year. Oh,
That's pretty good.
I made that
pretty
sting.
good. Wow.
The betrayal revealed in that exchange, brother to brother, brother
Thing 2
son
was
to-
never upset with Thing 1, as far as I know, about dropping dime on that one. I'm not sure. It could be. It could be.
How did you approach that situation? Sorry, we're going to go parenting here for a minute. Did you let him continue to hang himself when you went and confronted him about the fake phone? Or
No,
did you...
I probably should have.
Yeah.
No, we just immediately were like, dude.
What
what the F? And, you got to use this flip phone. And
here's a punishment phone.
to his credit, so when I tell this story to an audience and I tell them he was giving me a dummy phone for 6 months, there's a sound the audience makes. And I always go, I know. I can hear the admiration in your voice.
Yeah.
Imagine I had to hide it in mine.
Yeah.
Because I'm
That's
kind
pretty
of
clever,
impressed. And yet there's no room for being impressed when you're a parent. It's time for punishment. Like you gotta nip that in the bud. You can't let them think that they can manipulate you like that. You have to maintain your omnipotence until it's absurd.
And until there's no chance. Yeah. So I got in trouble when I was in high school because we didn't have cell phones then because you and I are old.
Yeah.
And I set up a deal with my girlfriend where she could call me at exactly 10 o'clock, and I would call time, and then it would call waiting in, and beep over. But I would have to call at like 9:59 and 30. So we'd have to synchronize watches the whole thing.
Wait,
No
I
internet time.
don't get this.
Okay.
You
Wouldn't
used to
call
be,
time.
My parents wouldn't let us take calls after
hold
like
on.
8:30
You used
at
to
night.
be able to check the time by dialing the phone number popcorn on any phone.
Okay, I
Really?
can remember
And
this.
popcorn?
Yes,
Popcorn was the San Francisco
yes,
number.
yes.
Yeah, you
Oh,
grew up with that.
I-
And you
and-
called it
and
would tell you
it's
verbal.
yeah.
It's 8:59 and
yes.
40 seconds.
Yeah. The sound of the third beep, blah blah blah. So I couldn't receive a call that made the phones ring, and we only had one line. So I would just pick up and call the time number because you could stay on it for like 2 minutes, and I'd wait until she called and the call waiting came in, and then I'd just beep over.
Oh, so you had call waiting at
So
least.
we'd call waiting.
as
Yeah,
a
it wasn't
way-
it wasn't the dark
And
ages.
this was
we
the
weren't.
sneak
We didn't have to talk
to
to Mabel.
receive
When
the
I
to
was
call
that
phone
age, we
connection.
did not have
No,
call
yeah,
waiting.
yeah,
We did not have
yeah.
star 70 or star 69.
So anyway, when my dad got a caller ID box that did call waiting plus caller ID, he was like, "Hey, wait a second." He was flipping through the numbers one day. He's like, "The hell is this at 10 o'clock on Tuesday night?" And then he went back 10 o'clock on Monday night, 10 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah.
What? Why are you getting how are you getting a call? And I had to explain it. And he I lost. They pulled the phone out of my room. Cut,
Sure, of course they did.
Took the wire off the wire. It was bad. I was in big trouble.
Two things to's credit.
Yeah.
Halfway through the punishment with the flip phone, he was like, I hate this phone, and I hate you, and I hate this stupid phone. I hate texting 3 times for I hate it. And I was like, I know. That's how I know it's working. And to his credit, he went, oh, I get that.
There you go.
However, what the UCB did with that was hilarious. So I tell that story.
Yeah.
They immediately pull out 2 chairs and 2 people sit down, and the third one comes out, and it's a woman, and she goes, all right, kids, only 30 more minutes of porn, and then it's bedtime.
Nice.
I mean, I think giving him the flip phone is worse than just taking the phone away. Mm-hmm. I mean, because you can have it
Well,
there.
I needed to be able to get a hold of him.
I mean, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Wow. That is
So
brutal.
it was a really, really fun trip to New York.
That's good.
It was great. New York was hot and delightful.
Well, the other thing, and you mentioned it already, but in your recent travels over the past 2 weeks, you've been spending a lot of time traveling with an Oculus Quest.
I keep bringing it with me because it travels really well. This guy cannot get enough of Beat Saber.
It's a really good game.
I've got I played all 25 songs that you can get right now for the Quest Beat Saber, and I'm excited to say I can get to the end of each level on hard.
That's good.
And on a couple, I've done expert, not expert plus. And I'm not saying I'm getting 100% of these bricks. It's not
Survival.
competition grade, but I find it really fun, and it's
$100
a little bit. It makes me a little sweaty. It feels good to move my body around. What? $100 bills. Yeah.
I knew you were interested in VR, and we know you've talked in the past on the podcast and in videos about the potential for AR, but this is the most I've seen you engaged with, 1, VR, and 2, a video game.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
I don't know, is it about the
it's
Saber
really
aspect?
confusing you, isn't it?
It is.
It's an arcade game.
It's an
Yes,
arcade game, but
Adam doesn't play games.
But I
He has
don't.
a
I don't.
millipede machine.
That's it. That's the only millipede is the only game I've
Yeah.
ever played.
I'm just saying, it's an arcade game.
It is, and it is also. It's a movement I've been thinking about for my whole life, swinging lightsabers.
Yeah.
And Beat Saber, I mean, the way they look, it's just really well done. I'm super psyched about it. And soon they're going to release a pack.
Yeah, to let
so
you
can make your own
songs and then import them. But it's we sometimes walk in here and you are wearing the headset and you are engaged in it. And you were
Where do
talking.
you have room in here?
It's in my house.
Yeah, and we were also talking about
All
like you go deep dive into like the scoring. Like you've looked into like
Oh,
same type of obsession.
It's
Actually,
all
we
about
looked up-
follow through.
What's that?
It's all about follow
It's
through.
all about follow through,
Yeah.
and it is about how hard you hit, but it's also about the aim. It's
aim,
also about
yeah.
whether you're hitting perfectly center and on the line through the center.
They did a GDC talk about their scoring works.
Oh, did they?
Last year, or the year before. It's very good.
And it's so I went and
As
looked
part of
up
their
tips and
postmortem.
tricks of
Yeah.
professional Beat Saber competitors. And to be honest, here's where I'm not interested. So I watched a bunch of YouTube videos of people playing exceedingly hard levels on Expert Plus, and I found it just as distancing and as uninteresting to me as watching the other game that was just like this, which is Rock Band.
Yeah.
Right? Very similar type of game.
Yes, rhythm
game
music
with
Rhythm
yeah.
game with stuff coming down. At the point at which you're playing Expert Plus at the hardest possible levels, it's not like you're responding to stimuli. It's muscle memory and deep amounts of practice. I like the not knowing and the being able to hit it without, because I mean, these guys who train, they train so much that they remove the arrows from the bricks and do it from memory.
Well,
which is amazing, but that's not the level that I'm
It's like
interested
in the old arcade days when people played Dance Dance Revolution, like in the movie Scott Pilgrim, they would people basically just memorize the moves and go for score.
I mean, it's like Tetris, though. Like, you can get, if you're good at Tetris and you put enough time in to generate like a flow state with Tetris, you can identify, like, you can just watch the board and know what's coming.
It's the flow state that I'm interested in, not the memorization state.
And which is the same as the difference between like playing Tetris, where the bricks are random, and playing a perfect game of like Pac-Man or Donkey Kong.
Yeah, and I appreciate the perfect game runs that people try. You know, I read about that stuff in the course of the things that I'm interested in. But Beat Saber feels really good, and I like trying new songs. I like making them a little harder.
And it is in the same way that Tetris Effect, which came out on PSVR, and assuming Sony doesn't have an eternal license to that, will be on Quest. I'm sure this holiday. Like, that game was designed to induce that flow state. Like Tetsuya Miz, I can't remember his last. He's just Miz. Anyway, designed that Tetris Effect game to induce that flow state. Awesome. And Beat Saber has the same effect, I think. Like, it's really
I'm really enjoying the Oculus Quest.
It's really neat. I've spent some time with it finally.
The lock to the room is really excellent. I'll tell you a feature I want. If you're a developer for Oculus Quest, I'd like to be able to flip on and off the external cameras at any second.
Yeah, on the desktop version you can. There's a shortcut. I think it's a power consumption thing.
Or
that's fine. I would just like the option.
Yeah,
I think I should have the option.
Right.
I noticed people are doing things like buying USB-C power packs, taping them to the back of the headset, and running them
in your pocket.
to get extra power, which I think is nifty. I think the handsets are every bit as responsive as I would want them to be, and I really like that.
They're really good. Are you finding the edges of the visible limit playing Beat Saber, or not really?
No.
Any tracking loss?
You're not losing tracking at the edge. Yeah, I haven't hit that either. I was kind of surprised.
Look, I do find sometimes when the batteries of the handsets are below 40%, they start to cut out when I'm really, really swinging them hard.
Are you using rechargeables?
No.
Oh, huh.
Should I, for the power curve?
The rechargeables have a better power curve.
Oh, okay.
So I go all the way down to 20 before I put them back on the charger.
Oh, nifty.
And then I'm not also throwing away half-used batteries.
That was the original batteries that it came with. I swapped them out for Duracells. I may have a different result with those.
Okay.
I actually made... This will make you laugh, and I'll have to do a show and tell. I actually built a foam core holder for both the Oculus Quest and the Magic Leap 1, so that the handsets are all available, chargeable, and hangable all in one location, so a single plug is my output. Because I had, like, every plug in my office at home was filled with something charging, and it was driving me crazy because I couldn't ever bring my office to a state of what I felt was clean.
No, yeah, there's cables everywhere.
I came in here on Friday morning or Thursday morning, and I just whipped together this foam core box with hangers for everything.
These are notes of, like, when you did the gang charger for the GII Inspire. You know,
yeah.
When you are interested and passionate about a piece of tech or experience,
I want immediate access to it as often as possible.
Yes, and you will build the infrastructure for your way, first order retrievability.
Exactly.
You know about the multiple port USB chargers, right? That you can go to Amazon and buy from Anker or any number of other places.
Yeah, and I use
a 10-head USB fast charger that will charge 10 devices
I haven't seen 10-head ones. I have a dual. Oh, that's nice. Okay.
Yeah, so you can. So I have one of those behind my desk and a bunch of cable drops that just come up.
And
can
you're
plug
choosing
into all
one
my
that
stuff.
specifically puts out like 2.5 to 5 amps on each one, or something like that.
If you buy the right one, I have a lot of history with the Anker ones. I've had multiples. I have a travel one. I have a couple in the office.
Yeah.
And they are set up to do both of the phone standards, so the Apple standard, the Android standard, the Samsung standard, and then also whatever the USB-C fast charge up to like 5 amps or something is. So yeah, so you can charge like if you have a MacBook that charges with USB-C, you can plug that thing into it too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Because I've actually had to use. I once went on a business trip with my laptop without its charger, and I think I was in New Zealand, so getting another one was non-trivial, and I ended up using one of my USB-C charger bricks.
Oh my God.
And it literally was like
1%.
It would take all night long to charge the laptop to full, and then I'd have to do whatever I had to do all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
Yeah, so they make travel ones that have the fast fast USB-C charge, and then also like 4 USB-A ports for your other. It's very good. Highly recommended.
Yeah. I know that this week, since we all have that device and you're into it, I know we talked about potentially doing a Rec Room Quest, adventuring
totally
party.
I would love that.
And so I think Jeremy and the three of us are going to try to this week.
Awesome.
And film it. I'll record it.
That would be great.
I could do it on the Vive and capture if you want, because we can play cross-platform, right?
I think we can. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
The other thing is, and the topical thing, I know we've griped on this podcast before about iTunes.
Yes.
Hey, iTunes is no more.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And when does the new update?
It's later in the fall.
Yeah, it's as always.
All right. So I am making no judgments whatsoever about how much shittier or better my music experience is going to be. The bar is already so low, Apple. All you can do is jump over it.
I just switched to Spotify and I don't care anymore.
I will say that I'm about to get some PC equipment.
Yeah.
And I may end up porting myself over. I don't know.
So
I don't know.
The Apple stuff, the Apple software, like the music stuff and the photos and all the infrastructure for Apple as a primarily PC user now is so spectacularly. It's not bad. It's just untended. Like clearly nobody gives a shit about it. And I mean, I'm sure somebody gives a shit about it. That's not fair. The people who work on it clearly care, but nobody's paying attention to it at a level that they can give them more resources or whatever. And it's disappointing. The thing that worries me is that if they're taking away iTunes, how do you back up the phone locally? Are you going to have to only back up to the cloud?
No. We will be built into their OS. So I don't know on the Windows side.
Yeah,
what that means.
hi, I'm a Windows user.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a bummer. That keynote was really weird.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't either. But like, they launched a Mac Pro Workstation Desktop that starts at $6,000
with a $1,000 monitor stand.
And, and a $6,000 monitor, $1,000 stand, and the $6,000 computer with a 256 gigabyte SSD in it.
Starting price, base price.
That's for the cheap one, the $6,000 one.
Yeah,
it's
room
offensive.
to grow.
It is like I mean, what they're doing is making machine learning and like rendering workstations, which is fine. That's a great business to be in. But
why sell your base model as an unusable brick?
That's it.
Well, 16 gig iPhones for the longest time.
I mean, yeah, they did that too. I mean, the point is, most people who think they are Mac Pro customers are probably iMac customers at this point.
Can we move on from this?
Sorry. Yeah,
It's just making me madder.
This is the
and
other
madder.
podcast.
Before we continue on with the conversation, I want to let you know that Still Entitled this week is also made possible with support from Lightstream. You don't need to be a financial expert to know that consolidating debt into a low fixed rate can save you thousands in interest. So pay off your high interest credit cards with a credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream. You can get a rate as low as 5.95% APR with autopay, which is much lower than the national average interest rate on credit card debt. And get a loan from $5,000 to $100,000 with absolutely no fees. Application is 100% online, and you can get your money as soon as the day you apply. I know that with all of the business we do, we have a ton of credit cards in our family, and sometimes it's just easier to get them everything under one bill with auto pay so we don't have to stress about missing any random payments or fees. Apply today at lightstream.com/untitled and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/untitled for an additional discount. lightstream.com/untitled. Subject to credit approval. The rate includes a 0.5 autopay discount. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/untitled for more information. Now back to the conversation.
Okay, I want to talk about something I've been watching, and I need you guys to watch.
Yeah, what's going on? What you got?
Fleabag.
That sounds great.
Fleabag is it's already completed its second season. It's a BBC show, showrun, starring, and written by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Lando Calrissian's robot from Solo,
L3,
but also the showrunner and creator of Killing Eve.
Okay,
I didn't realize she was a showrunner.
Let me explain what a cultural juggernaut Phoebe Waller-Bridge is right now. She also did Punch Up on the final script for the 25th Bond film that's coming up.
Yeah.
And what she said was, the women in Bond's universe need to be treated better. But what she said was, James Bond doesn't need to treat them better, but the James Bond universe needs to treat them better, which is a lovely distinction, by the way. I think that distinction betrays a deep understanding of the Bond oeuvre. And Fleabag, so Fleabag is about a venal, narcissistic, kind of terrible person played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Not the robot this time.
Not the robot. Okay. With lots of asides to the camera. Lots of breaking the fourth wall, a la House of Cards.
It's like, okay, but time's not freezing. It's not a Saved by the Bell situation.
It's not a Saved by the Bell situation. However, without giving any spoilers, I will say that what they do in the second season with that breaking of the fourth wall is some of the more exciting storytelling of a form I have not yet encountered. I'm not kidding. It feels like an entirely new approach. It's overstating it, but it is. Each episode is like 25 minutes long. There's 6 in the first season, 6 in the second season.
Easily
so
bingeable.
That is a thing I can find time to watch
very
that, yes.
quickly.
Yes.
And it is remarkable storytelling with incredible acting on behalf of the entire cast. It's really thrilling to see such innovative work coming from such a brand new voice. So I exhort you to like jump in and see as much of it as you can. Fleabag.
Yeah.
Is it available?
I think I got it
BBC.
on Amazon.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect.
Also on Amazon, and I'll give a recommendation, Good Omens. I've started watching that. Halfway through that. This is based on the Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett book.
From 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Neil was actually the showrunner.
And he wrote the script.
He
that's
wrote the
good.
script. And I know Neil quite well. He is so chuffed to have this out in the world. He's so ecstatic.
So
he had the
good.
best time. And I watched the first episode. It's amazing.
It is so Neil.
Do you know the story of how the book was made?
They wrote it back and forth.
They sent a floppy disk back and forth.
No.
Yes, that's how old the book is. He would write his chapter, send it to Terry Pratchett. Terry Pratchett would read the chapter, write his new chapter. Terry Pratchett would send it back and say back and forth, back and forth.
Amazing.
Like it was like a there's a Reddit thing where they do that. The
Exquisite Corpse?
Exquisite Corpse, yeah.
He's done interviews now. He's in like this promo tour for the series and talking about how writing the series today, and how that differs than writing the book and what he wanted to keep, because they have to make these 90 or 60 minutes because it's a partnership with the BBC. But there are scenes,
6 episodes total.
6 episodes total, and it's a very they go all over the place. It looks like a very expensive show. The
They
characters
got a lot of bang
are
for their buck.
Great. Michael Sheen
and
David Tennant
Tennant
are like
as
ship
an
them
angel
now.
and a demon.
Who plays David Tennant plays the
Sheen
angel?
plays the
No.
angel.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Tennant plays the
Crowley,
demon.
yeah.
David
Crowley.
Tennant was the Doctor Who before the last one.
And he
Okay.
was
Before.
He was Jessica Jones' foil.
Oh,
for the
right,
first
right,
season.
right. The scary man at the second. Oh, God, that guy
Terrifying.
was, yeah. Okay.
Yes. This is.
It is funny. It's dirty. It's sexy. It's sweet. It's hilarious.
It was
very sweet.
It was maybe the first Neil Gaiman novel I read, and I was just like, it was the kind of book that you finished and you picked up and you read it again immediately.
Yeah.
And the way it's made reminds me of like Lemony Snicket's series Unfortunate Events. That Netflix show has a lot of whimsy to it, like Pushing Daisies. And while comic book fans know Neil probably most for Sandman, and that's been kind of in the works for a very long time.
It's an impossible project.
It's very difficult to make. This has a lot of those elements.
Maybe this will knock if this does well, this will knock the
He has a deal
trees.
with Amazon. Yeah.
Thursday. This is coming out today?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Thursday of this week, Kevin Kelly will be interviewing Neil Stevenson at the Long Now Foundation at Fort Mason.
Oh, awesome.
I believe at noon on Thursday. I think
wow.
I'm still coming back from Vegas, but I'm going to try and see if I can get there in time about Fall,
rad.
which I think comes out today, if I'm not incorrect.
It was on my Kindle last night when I went to bed.
Oh, I can't wait till you start to read it. It's so good.
I have another book to finish first, so I'm
anyway. I'm about 2/3 of the way through.
Okay.
And it's really like I'm reading this book slower than I normally read. I'm really savoring it. It's super incredible.
I looked at it last night. I was like, I'm gonna wait, not read this at midnight when I'm tired. I'm gonna start fresh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm
That
very
checks out.
excited.
Do you need to read Ream D before this?
No, they're totally separate stories. I mean, it's nice to have Reamd under your belt because the characters of Reamd are great, but it's not at all required to read this.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the plot synopsis, I think, and just to refresh myself.
Yeah, that helps just a little bit, but there's only there's 3 or 4 characters that carry over.
Reamd I don't recall Reamd being super plotty in the way that some Stevenson books are.
Indeed. Yeah, those are the main points going on. I'm off to the Remars conference tomorrow afternoon.
So I watched Wandering Earth. I was paging through Netflix
the Chinese
the other
science
day.
fiction movie.
Yeah. I was paging
Weta
through.
did all the spacesuits for that,
I was paging through Netflix and I saw Lucy Shen as the executive producer and presumably concept behind this Chinese produced science fiction movie.
Yeah.
And
from a Shishin, you're right. Yeah, and
Shishin
Liu.
Shishin Liu, yeah. Sorry, I anglicized. And like it's gorgeous. It's full of really neat ideas. A little rough.
It's a little rough around the edges. I'm dying to watch it. I now that I realize it's on Netflix, now that you've told me, I will go because the trailer looks wonderful, and this is I believe, if I'm not incorrect, this is like the biggest film to come out of the Chinese film industry in terms of the raw dollars and the scope
and the science fiction
fiction.
It's huge scope. Like
I really appreciate that. Even if it's rough around the edges, I'm glad we're getting big budget, awesome from other nations in the U.S.
Like the title card at the beginning where they list all the studios that worked on it is like Avengers scale. It's like 30 studios chucked in here. It tells a really personal story set in a really bad, big, I'm not going to, this isn't a spoiler because it happens in the first 3 minutes, but like the upshot is the sun is going to explode and they have to figure out how to solve the problem. And the solution is simultaneously ludicrous and, very 3-body.
Wandering Earth.
Yeah, Wandering Earth is not a figurative statement. It is a literal description of what happens in the thing.
Wow.
It's messy, but it's neat. I enjoyed it. Awesome. I would if you like science, if you have an affinity for especially kind of maybe questionable science fiction, I would say go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I have other recommendations, but that's going to save it for another podcast. On the site this week, we have continuing, Adam, your visit to Weta Workshop last year. Mm-hmm. That's still rolling out for YouTube viewers. We have some new show and tell stuff. You tell a great story from your book. Actually, not in your book, about the first thing you made.
Yes.
In
that
shop,
was a fun show
class.
and tell.
Yeah, so look forward to that stuff.
More one-day builds coming up soon. We're shooting them as often as we can to build back up our stock.
Yep.
Cool.
And lots of stuff as we get toward, Comic-Con and the 50th anniversary of the moon landing.
Very exciting.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Mom.